In today's video, I am going to be breaking down different 5-out basketball plays that the Chicago Bulls run with their team. These plays will also be working extremely well at the high school level too. Let's get down, let's check these out. Really quickly, make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense down in the description below. Okay, so in this first play, what we're going to have is a dribble handoff first with a staggered screen set for that corner player, which in this case is DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is then going to attack the basket. He's going to be obviously looking to pass the players, but he does have the ability to shoot too. So basically how this is set up is what we're going to have is that wing player, he's going to either get that ball dribbling up or he's going to get it passed to him. Either way, he's going to then set a dribble handoff for the corner man who's going to be popping up. At that time, the player at the point is going to be setting that screen, and we really want that player at the point being our center or at least our biggest man. Our corner man is going to then come off of that staggered screen and he's going to attack that high post. While this is happening, he better be looking for the role player. He should also be keeping his eye out for the pop man, which was that DHO man. And then he's also going to be looking out for the opposite side, the weak side, because if their defenders are coming in to basically stop his drive, then he could have some easy baskets there. However, Terrence Ross is a bit deep. This could have been a kick-out pass, but DeMar DeRozan's able to hit that shot anyways with the and one. Basically, how this is going to look is we're going to have that DHO happening right here. We're then going to have player 2 use that screen, and we're going to have player 5 set up that staggered set of screen for player 2. Player 2's man is obviously going to be chasing him around that screen, and if that player is going over top, we all know how to use screens. He needs to cut in quickly, in which case if player 5 does hedge, then we could have a high to low post pass to player 5. That is an option, and that would be the number one option. If nobody hedges, he could drive that shot or drive that to the basket or take the shot himself, or he could, if player 1 was trying to switch off and all the defense over here was messed up, he could kick it out for a 3. Or if player 4 was to reach in a bit too far, which would be a mistake, we could have a kick out pass to player 4 for a 3-point shot. This play kind of opens up a lot of opportunities. Here we're going to have a wing to point screen, and after that screen is set, what we're going to have is a weak side cut if the defense is not paying attention. This is actually a very, very good lesson for any player who is watching this right now. If your defense is not paying attention, you can get some easy baskets. So this is just a simple screen for the point. However, when you are playing on the weak side, you really need to be looking at your defender to see what your defender is doing. If your defender makes a mistake, this could have been a kick out 3 over here. However, here we see Pascal Siakam having his 100% attention on that ball, and when that happens, Boucher didn't move up to try to cut off that drive. He was looking like he was about to switch and that this was going to be a double team. That's generally how Toronto's defense works. And because Boucher did not rotate up high enough to cut off that drive, then Zach LaVine was able to get an open dunk. So this is actually just a very simple play, really. You can just call for a screen, but the main idea here is to really look, obviously attack the basket, but really look for these weak side cutters who are coming in. Both of these players could be options to cut down between this gap of defenders here if they're paying attention to the ball and what's happening here, or if player 5 was to step up too high, we could even have player 5 blue cut baseline, and this could be a lob as well. But the main options here that I always look at is, of course, the roll man, or he may be popping for a 3 as well. There's a few options there, but look for the pop, look for that screen and roll, look for the weak side cuts. So many different options. This is actually a very good example as to how a 5-out offense that got blown up can still work. So we have that initial screen point to wing. It didn't work, so now we're going to reset that screen for the opposite side and roll towards the basket. But there's a lot of stuff that we see here that is extremely amazing. So first off, we see Vucevic setting that screen away for Zach LaVine. That play was blowing up, so we need to run something. Well, why don't we run it on the opposite side? He needs to go somewhere. They have been useless so far, so he pops up, he goes to the corner, always trying to fill different spots and move off ball. And then we have Vucevic who sets that screen for the ball handler. The point guard then uses that screen, and this has actually opened up quite a few different options. So obviously he's rolling towards the basket, get him the ball. That's one option. This now collapses the defense. He could have kicked out for 3-point shots, or he can take it right to the rim himself, which is what he did. So of course you could draw up, hey, screen over here, but I'm not going to do that right now. What we're going to do is just exactly what we seen the end result do, and that was player 2 set that screen, point to wing screen, and then when that happened, these two players essentially switched. And why is that important? Well, the importance behind this is because now the defense over here is now thinking, well, what's going on here? We need to try and keep up over here and not pay attention to their help assignment, which means that they will be late off of the help, in which case, now when player 2 in this case is rolling towards the basket, when he gets that ball, he may have an open lane because these defenders who are actually the help side should be preoccupied with what's going on, and because of that, it leaves player 2 open for a layup or a dunk. However, if that does collapse this defense, he could kick it out for threes. This next offense is actually really good as well. We have a dribble handoff point to wing, and then we had the corner cut to the opposite side corner, which was actually very effective. Now, why was this effective? Well, first off, that DHO is now rotating this offense up and of course around. This is now confusing multiple defenders, and because of that, when that player comes off, DeMar DeRozan comes off that screen, he could hit up that rolling player. They now have multiple players in the key unknowing what to do. So this could be a pass to the roll man, who could then kick it out for a 3-point shot. This could also be, and look how out of position the defenders are. DeMar DeRozan could have drove baseline, could have done a hammer pass out to the corner to Thomas, which could have been a 3-point shot. Thomas is a very good 3-point shooter, and of course, instead, DeMar DeRozan was able to make that shot anyways, but that shows you so many different options. So first off, we see the dribble handoff, and we see player 5 and 4 rotating up and player 3 rotating out towards the opposite side. This then, of course, makes the defense shift, and coming off of that DHO, player 2 could obviously drive if the rim was wide open, and of course his man was able to get around, but these two players, because of that baseline cut and of course player 4 rotating up, that then will leave these two players in a position as to who to guard in some cases. And of course player 2 could finish, but he could obviously hit the roll man. He could have player 1 popping out for a 3 on this side or to this side. However, in the video he rolled towards the basket. Player 2 could have kicked it out. Player 2 could score, which is what we did see in the video. And of course if player 3 was to get that kick out pass, he could take that 3. This could mix up the defense so much that it could leave player 4 wide open for the extra pass. So many different options here. I hope that these plays help your team win more games. If they do, hit that like button, subscribe, make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out basketball offense down in the description below.